make sure that you are creating your own affirmations, your own unique affirmations. You are creating your own kind of culture, your own kind of vibe, your own kind of experience, and you're not like doing things to fit in, or you're picking up on things, and you're starting to value and think more about things outside of yourself more than yourself and what you have going on, because you are the star of your show. You are the star of your show. You are the main character. The movie wouldn't be playing without you. You know, the movie wouldn't be moving, and it wouldn't have all those intricacies and all those creative experiences and all of those colors and tones and vibes and harmonies and contrast. None of that would exist without you, you know. So you don't want to be the main character in somebody else's story, you know, unless, you know, that's something you're doing for like creative reasons, or, you know, but then still it should be for you. It should be for you, you know. So just make sure that you are showing yourself the love that you deserve, and not just the love but the attention too, you know. Like, you might crave and want these things from a person outside of you, like attention and take care of me, and, you know, be this kind of person in my life, you know. And it's just like, you know, we hear about things, and we hear quotes, and we see quotes online. We might hear motivational speakers, and there's all these things outside of us that can, you know, like remind us of stuff. And there's things that might just be programmed in your mind since a child, and things you might say that kind of help you throughout the days and stuff now, you know. But you gotta really feel the energy behind what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're doing, you know. Because like I said, this video is just about, remember, you're the star of your own show. Like, you know, and make that movie as interesting, as dramatic, as romantic, as horrific, as whatever genre and category you want it to be. But just make sure that you know that not only are you the star of the show, but you're the director, you're the producer, you're the writer, you feel me? You're in the behind the scenes, you're in the, you know, when they go through the audition aspect of how a movie is created to see who's gonna play in that particular movie, you know. It's like you are the one that plays a part in who's gonna get that role, and who's gonna execute, or who's gonna, you know, who you choose who you want to interact with. It's just the same as that. Like, just like how a movie is played, you know. Just really think about that. Like, you know, sometimes you might hear stuff, but you might not envision it and see it and make up and set up the scene for yourself and how you view it, and what you want to have, like what you want to be going on in your life in particular. You know, like, it might just be like, oh, like, you know, that's a cool concept, or that's something I can add to a playlist, or that's a good song to know, or this and that, you know. It's like, oh, and there might be this bland kind of like monotone take that we might have, like a monotone type approach to certain things, and we might just save it for later and don't really go back to it, or don't see something through our own eyes, you know. And you just don't want things to remain dormant in your life and then accumulate in a certain section that you just don't really like take care of and stuff. And I think like a few weeks ago, Dave Beyond was talking about, you know, like he was talking about this pile, like of things that you might have just started, and then it's just this pile, like, you know. Like there's this whole pile of just things, like you don't want a pile of dirty clothes. Like you don't want a pile of unfinished something. Like you don't want a pile of thoughts that's not yours sitting in your brain, in your head, in your house. Like you don't want a pile of this has no purpose, but I somehow am keeping it or want it for some type of something, like especially if it's outside of yourself. So like I said, just make sure that you remember and you know that you are the main character. You are the main character, and you're the one playing this role, and you are developing your affirmations and your virtues and your principles, and you're the one experiencing and extracting wisdom and knowledge from those experiences. You the one loving and appreciating and valuing. You the one that got stuff on a routine. You the one, like, you the one, like, and it's so easy to fixate and focus on what people outside of you have going on, but it's just like your movie is just so much better. Like your movie is so much better because you are the one that determines what's good enough. Like you don't need anybody else's validation or invalidation. And if you like that movie, you let that bitch play. You watch whatever scene you want to watch, whatever part. You come out with however many sequels or new additions or new genres or new vibes that you want. You the one that come up with those things. So, just don't submit to some type of guilty programming, because you could be draining the hell out yourself and not even really realize that that's what you're doing. It's just like being in hell and not knowing you in fucking hell. Like, and we see movies as examples of this. Like The Sunken Place. That nigga did not know he was there. You feel me? It's a lot of motherfuckers who think that they know and they got the answers. It's a lot of motherfuckers who think that, oh, this works, so that I should be doing it then. But shit that works all the time, like just because it works doesn't mean that that's what you should do. You feel me? Like it's about your intention and your state of being. So this sign says it's like people working, basically. Like gente is people and trabajando is working. And it's basically like construction. There's people outside working. That's the first time I've seen that sign before. But anyway, so yeah, and it's just like certain synchronicities. Like at first I thought the word said gentle, like gentle instead of gente, like be gentle with yourself or something like that. But now that I know that it's just talking about working people and people working on a particular part of the road, it's like that's something that they're fixated on. That's something that they're focused on, And in every construction zone, the colors are usually orange, And when yellow starts to move, when you're happy and you're fulfilled and you're able to move however you want to move, that's what makes up orange. That's how orange is created, So it's like creating that fulfillment to last for a longevity of time. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Like you see a problem, you got a solution about it, or just like a triangle, like idea, problem, and solution. Like you got an idea about something, like okay, this street needs to be worked on, like and you see what the problems are, like this is why it needs to be worked on and this is why it needs to be worked on. Like the idea is the street, like let's go down the street. The problem is like, oh shit, we went down the street and noticed these problems. And then it's like solution, like okay, we're gonna set up some construction on this day and we're gonna dig in this hole and we're gonna focus on what the problem is and we're gonna get through it. and then that becomes a square when you're able to like feel a sense of contentment about that process and the solution, the conclusion that you came to, you know. And I feel like after that is like when you're able to take what you experienced and extract wisdom and knowledge from it, you know. Like instead of just seeing shit like, oh, like it's a traffic jam, or oh, this is a person I haven't seen before, or something is unpredictable happening in this moment in time, like, you know, and just seeing like what was on my mind when that happened. What was on your mind when you seen that there was construction? What was on your mind when there was traffic? What was on your mind when your phone fucking fell out your hand and broke? Like, when all these different things happen, what's on your mind at that time when you see a particular number or something, and you might want to call it you might want to call it a synchronicity, or you might want to say that there's a certain symbolic meaning behind it. It's like, what was on your mind at that time, you know, because it's really all about your state of being. And a lot of times when you can't remember what's going on, you're having a hard time remembering your memories, or you having a hard time remembering like what your focus and point is, you know, or something that you want to try to remember or something like that. You know, it's like sometimes it's because we're not being more mindful about our thoughts, you know, like we're not really like eating food and appreciating every texture and every aspect and every taste, every flavor. Like, you know, we might not be waking up and just grateful. We might not be waking up and writing down our dream. We might not be going to sleep without any thought on our mind, just being satisfied, like, you know. And so, and a lot of times that's because we focus on things outside of ourselves. We focus on that TV show we was just watching. So when you go to sleep and you have a dream and you think it's the deepest dream in the world and you got all these synchronicities, it's just because of that show you was watching before you went to sleep, you know. And like, you'll see all types of indoctrinations and people that are lost in all these kind of ways, just like at times when you was lost, you know. And you might start to fixate on that, like this world is so lost and these people are so whatever, and I'm like this. And it's just like, you still at the same place as them then, if you still focusing and comparing yourself to other people and what other people have going on, or how other people are interacting and living their life, you know. And you might think it's justified. Like, you might think it's justified to walk around and point out and talk about people like, oh, this person got a mask on, they fucking dumb as fuck, like it's 100,000 degrees, like, but you got that fixated on your mind. Every person, you thinking about them in a certain kind of way, and you think that you better than somebody because of that. And it's like, nigga, that person could be even more spiritual than you, and you don't even know, because you're not working and walking in the space of all possibilities, you know. Like, that's what it's about, because nobody wants to be controlled or anything. Like, you don't, like, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, you feel me? You don't know what could be going on in somebody else's life. Other people wearing masks and shit might not even have anything to do with some type of health issue or the fake ass shit in the sky. Like, it could be for something else. They could be a fucking spy, and they just took advantage of this. Like ain't nobody really gonna see me. I can make all these kind of moves that I couldn't make before this mad shit came out. You know, you just never know. Like, and that's why you are the star of your own movie, because you can create whatever type of climax. You can create what type of turning point you want. You can create what type of action or some shit. Like, you the one creating it, you know. So it's like, you don't want to be in a space where you judging other people, you focusing on other people. Like, it's some, and it is some movies and it is some shows out there where the main character do focus a lot on another person that's not the main character, or sometimes there might be multiple main characters or something like that. But it's like it's you know, extras play a part. Other roles and the people the main character interact with, they play a part. It's other main characters too, but if everything that the main character doing is just based on something of somebody else, it's like, is that really a good movie to you? Like, what's really the point? You know, because yes, it's movies like that, but it's like, what is the intention behind your movie? What is the point of it? You feel me? Like, it's a lot of shows and it's a lot of movies. It's a lot of things you might watch and you just might be like, what the fuck was the point of that? Or you might walk away from some movie or something and be like, wow, like, I'm looking at the world differently now. I'm more open-minded now because of that movie I was watching, you know? Or something. It's just like, it's just that movies, media, television is all around us, you know? And there's certain things being placed and put into our face and into our space, and we might not know the reason why. You feel me? And when you know what you're doing, that's when you're able to change the dynamic of what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you're able to change how you see something. That's when you're able to change, like, okay, like, we're gonna move this way, we're gonna turn this way, we're gonna go down this direction, we're gonna go down this street, you know, we're gonna have this on our mind. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's not gonna happen. You feel me? Like, this is something that might have been expected in a way, but it was really this. Like, it's just, I'm gonna just get back to the point, and that's just you being the star in the movie and the producer and the director of your own show. That is the purpose of this video. It's just a reminder to you that you are in control of your life. You create your reality, you know, and your temperament creates your results, you know. So that's it.